So first off, best practice is any contractor that the association hires, they should have general liability and workers' compensation coverage. However, in, like, say for South Carolina, an example, if you have 3 or less employees, you are not required to have workers' compensation coverage. Now, that doesn't mean a contractor can't get it, but sometimes the small operations do not purchase it. And there are associations that like to hire some of these smaller contractors to do landscaping and so forth. So the question is, from the association standpoint, what kind of liability could there be? Well, I can tell you this, at a minimum, every single contractor needs to have general liability coverage. That helps set them up as an independent contractor. As far as workers' compensation, if you decide to hire a contractor that does not have workers' compensation coverage, at a minimum, I would make sure you get an indemnification letter signed by the contractor saying that they will hold the association harmless if something happens to them or one of their employees. Well, the next question becomes, okay, what can the association, is there any type of insurance the association can purchase? And the answer is yes. The association can actually purchase a workers' compensation policy for around $600. And the question we always get is, well, we don't have any employees, so why should we purchase that? Well, keep in mind, this policy will cover 2 things. The first of which is uninsured contractors, which is what we just talked about. So for instance, if you hire a roofing contractor and one of the employees gets injured while working on the property, and they try to file a workers' compensation claim under their employer's, the roofing contractor's policy, and there is no policy, they could turn around and sue the association for a workers' compensation claim. This policy that we're talking about would step in that event. If the association is brought into a workers' compensation claim. The second thing it covers is actually medical pay for volunteers, and that includes board members. So if a board member or a volunteer is injured while they're working in their capacity, there actually could be medical payments under this workers' compensation coverage. There's 2 small caveats to that. The first of which, the work that's being performed cannot be required. You cannot be required to have a license to do it. So you don't do any electrical work or plumbing work or roofing work. It has to be volunteer-like in nature. A beautification committee, light painting, pressure washing, something like that. The second caveat is the board must must officially approve the activity as a volunteer activity. And the best thing to do is at the board meeting, make sure you note that in your minutes so that you would be covered.